Hello, guys. So, yeah, how are you guys? It's been long. We have not done any live stream recently, and this live stream is being uh, held by this new M5 MacBook Pro. So, yeah, I also have a monitor over here. I have a camera over there, and my Mac M1 over here. Let me just switch it up to the new Sony Alpha 6700, but the quality would be very bad because I haven't like configured that. Mhm. It looks like this. So I mean, it's not that bad, but it's very, what do we say, like highly contrasted, right? So I mean, it's fine. The angle looks a little bit weird though. I mean, we'll have to set up something. Let me just try that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Uh, okay. So I see we can't implement the. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind this. It's pretty good. Yeah. Let's go ahead with this. Or maybe you can zoom in a little bit over here. Yeah, that's. Or this is fine. This is far better. Yeah. Let's keep this over here. Uh, I guess I'm pretty audible. Let me just.
Hello. Hi, we are calling from SharePal.
Yeah.
This is regarding an order for today. Could you please share your student ID card for verification
Where should I like send that?
on WhatsApp?
All right, all right. I'll send that. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay, guys, we have PS5 incoming for a rental period of 2 days. I'll have to share the, what do you say, the student ID, right? Let's just send that. By the way, I do have the student ID, like the physical, the soft copy, right? And I'll just send that. Okay, that's not mine. Yeah, there we go. Let's just send a copy in the WhatsApp. We have this number. Yeah, it says it would be delivered between 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Thursday, June 4th. I have sent uh, my ID as well. So yeah, hope so. Let's see if it gets delivered a little bit sooner, maybe. Right. So also apart from that, I was working on FaceTime, so reverse engineering FaceTime, and then majorly I would say what like I have been able to like crack FaceTime audio. I am on the way to crack FaceTime video, but that's a bit like on the more on the technical side because I've been trying to implement the exact byte to byte uh, system that goes through the web implementation, right? So I've been trying to like just replicate that, but the FaceTime video seems to be like uh, not working, even if I have like exactly implemented what the browser does. So it's a little bit tricky. I'm debugging that. Hopefully we can do this by end of the day so that we can show some like my bad so that we can so that we can show something valuable by tomorrow stand up. Yeah. All right. And then I was wondering if I just wanted to use this camera, but quality seems a bit ugly, right? Let's just stick with this one. Also, let us enable the center stage as well. Yeah. So, so why is it not charging? Yeah. There we go. Let's enable studio light. Nah. What about edge light? I mean, it's simple. Nah, not even background. Does this look good? Let's check it out. Nah. What portrait? Nah. So let's keep it this way only, right? And then but nahi yaar, this is far better, right? So you can see my laptop over here. Yeah, that's better in every aspect. So I was feeling for this role of there's this website called Outlier. So I was just filling this up in case we get something out of there. Uh, what are my coding skills? So TypeScript, Python, C++, Objective, Objective C, AWS, Docker, Bash, JavaScript, React, and then C. Um, we also have ML. Okay, we can have maybe let's put ML. Save skills. Next step on the onboarding would be uh, what do we say? And by the way, I'm also working on the FaceTime side by side. So confirm that I'm 18 years old. Okay, all right. This is my first and only Outlier account. Sure. ID issued by country. Okay. Verify. Okay. Make sure to use a physical. Okay. Let's start the verification. I guess I can use the passport maybe. Let's use the passport. Okay. I see verification over here. Verify using PAN card. Alternate method. Let's go for an alternate method because uh, okay, to verify you'll need to scan this. Okay, all right. Let's just go ahead with that. It says withpersona.com. All right, so this must be take a clear photo of the front of the government ID. Okay, let's do that. So front of government ID, that means you can use the PAN card and then okay, let's use this photo. And they also require, I guess, the back side. Yeah, by the way, I'm just I have I only have one name, of course. Let's put the identification value. I'm not gonna shout that out, obviously. Uh, okay. Ah, shit. There we go again. I guess the light went off. And now, house address. Okay, I'll put that. I don't mind. Okay, now we have to scan the face. Just move my camera. Like my glasses, right? Oh, टाइम पास कर रहा हूँ. टाइम पास नहीं यार, काम कर रहा हूँ. Okay. It took like three photos. So center align, left line, and right line. Let's see what it does. I guess it makes a like face persona kind of thing. Okay, it says congratulations, you're done. That's good. That's good. So your results will be available within 10 minutes. Please wait. Okay, sure. So identity is verified. We now need to verify the skills. Uh, Choose the skills you are most experienced with. Let's go for TypeScript and Python. No, TypeScript. TypeScript is code, right? And then let's take the assessment, right? By the way, I'll put this back. I don't mind. Like, I mind losing this. I won't take a risk. Okay. Thanks. Feel I'm pretty cool. Never mind. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's go with TypeScript. Asks for camera. I'll allow that. Let's test the. Yeah. Yo. Okay, it says, all right, it says close all other browser windows. Okay, I'll just do that. No worries. I don't mind. It says, so discuss how the any type in TypeScript is used and the potential risks associated with its usage. Provide an example of when it might be necessary to use any. Yes, so I would say like in TypeScript, the any type is essentially a way to opt out of the type checking. It tells the TypeScript compiler that trust me, I know what I'm doing and this is what it is, and it lets any kind of value pass through the function or whatever it is without any constraint. Yeah, so in TypeScript, the any type is essentially a way to opt out of the type checking. It tells the compiler, the TypeScript compiler that trust me, I know what I am doing, and it lets any kind of value pass through without any consents or like constraints. What is a key benefit of using interfaces in TypeScript for defining object structure over plain JavaScript objects? Question mark. Provide an example of how an interface can improve type safety. Using TypeScript uh, interfaces can enforce a strict structure. We can get compile time checks to ensure that objects conform to a certain shape, any issues or bugs from unexpected properties, types, or missing fields. Uh, Provide an example as well, right? So, for example, for example, we can have a interface for a user, right? Then interface user and then ID number name. Yeah, so this can be okay. Um, Uh, 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 I would say like we can, let's name could be string. Explain the purpose of the extends keyword in TypeScript, specifically when used in the context of extending interfaces or classes. Full stop. Provide an example for each scenario demonstrating its use. Which TypeScript feature helps to provide auto-completion and type checking in editors? Options are type interface, interfaces, type guards, enums. Explain how TypeScript's advanced types such as intersection and map functions can be utilized to build flexible and type-safe API response handlers. Provide examples showcasing these types in action and discuss the advantage they offer in an API context. All right. So, advanced TypeScript types like intersections and map types give us a lot of flexibility when we are handling like API responses. And intersection type lets us combine multiple types in one, ensuring that the object must satisfy all the constraints, right? And meanwhile, the map types, as you said, we can let it transform keys or values, making our types even more dynamic. So, for example, if we have a basic API response like a user, right? So we have an interface of user with ID that's a number, and then we have its name as a string, right? And then we have another interface called API response, right? And then we have its data, and then its status, right? Now let's say that we have another type like an address. So an interface of address would be like a street and a city, both being the strings, right? We can now create a type by intersecting these two types to form a user with an address. So we can have like type user with address equals user and address. So this would create a user, a new type which would intersect both the address and the user itself. So when we handle API responses, we can ensure that every user we process always has both ID, name, and their address details as well. So this would be very helpful for API responses. For example, if we have a generic API response with different fields, we can use this to create multiple parsing so that we can provide the adequate data. The advantage here is that it's very flexible, it's very type safe to handle and model diverse API responses. And then we can also ensure strict shapes whenever we need, and also adapt to the flexible cases without losing the type safety, right? So these are the different advantages that we have. Yeah. Convert the following TypeScript function to use default parameter values for width and height, and provide type annotations. So there's a function, create rectangle, bracket, width number, height number, and then another curly bracket after that, width number, and then height number. And then we have another curly bracket which returns curly bracket width and height. Use this. Width, height number. This is off. And then start the curly braces again. Turn them off and return the width and height. So we have refactor the following TypeScript function by using an enum for the direction parameters and ensure type safety while handling the cases. So we have function called turn with bracket direction, that's a string, and then we have colon string. Then we start the curly braces. If direction equals left, then return turning left. Else if direction equal right, then return turning right. Otherwise, throw new error, invalid direction. In TypeScript, which feature allows defining a variable that can hold multiple different types of values. Options are union types, generics, interfaces, type assertions. Let's discuss how TypeScript's advanced features like decorators and reflection capabilities can be utilized to implement metaprogramming functionalities in an application. Provide examples of use case and potential pitfalls. Answer this question to the point and precisely. Don't like add on a lot of content. Keep it to the point and to the question. So, TypeScript decorators and reflection. can enable like meta programming by allowing you or us to attach like metadata to the classes or properties, and then like introspect or modify the behavior at the runtime. So we can modify the behavior at the runtime itself. For example, if we have to create a decorator to log the execution of like access control or enforce the access control, we can have a common use case wherein there's this annotating API routes to auto generate documentation, right? A pitfall is that decorators rely on experimentation values and features, and then also heavily use and heavy use can obscure the code logic to be or obscene, and making it harder to follow up or debug the code logics, right? So it's powerful, but it should be used sparingly and with care. Refactor the following TypeScript code to incorporate conditional types and map types, ensuring that the filter properties function selectively returns only those properties of an interface that are string types. So we have an interface called product, which has ID, that's a number, name, that's a string, description as a string, and then price as a number. Then we have another function called filter properties with bracket objective any, and then we have another any with then curly braces constant result colon any equal to empty curly braces. Then we have for loop const key in object, then we have curly braces. If type of object bracket key equal string, then we have a curly bracket result bracket with square bracket key equal to object square bracket key, and then we have closed curly, and then return result, and then closed curly. Refactor the following TypeScript function to use interaction types and advanced type guards to ensure type safety when merging two objects and to provide additional behavior based on specific property checks. So we have an interface. Uh, we have user with name and email both as string. Then we have an interface admin with admin as boolean, and then privileges add string, then square braces, empty square braces. And then we have a function merge user with admin with bracket user, that's from capital user, and then admin from capital admin. And then we have any, we have a curly braces const merged equal to curly braces dot user comma dot admin, then curly braces closed. Then we have a line wherein we have to add the additional type safety and logic here. So this is the place where we have to code, and then we have return merged, and then we have the curly braces. In TypeScript, how does using declaration merging allow for extension of modules, interfaces, or classes? Select the best option. First, it provides a mechanism to convert interfaces to classes dynamically. Second, it allows multiple declarations with the same name to be combined into a single entity at compile time. Third option, it enables changing the runtime behavior of declarated functions without modifying source code. A fourth option, it allows importing types from different modules into a single scope. Given the following simplified API client function, explain how would you enhance it using generics, conditional types, and utility types in TypeScript to handle different resource types dynamically. Provide specific example of how these TypeScript features would create a flexible and type-safe API client. So we have a function fetch resource bracket endpoint, that's a string, and then we have a promise arrow bracket any, and then we have curly braces return fetch bracket endpoint dot then bracket response equal arrow response dot json bracket, and then bracket end, and then after that let's return enhance this function to handle different types of resources. This is written at the end of the after the fetch resource function. So, to make the function more flexible and type safe, I would say we can introduce generics that represent the resource type. So, by doing this, we can tie the return data shape to the resource, ensuring that we can have like predictable types. We can also use like conditional types to enforce the endpoints that are tied to a specific resource shape, right? So, in order to enhance it, we need to define a mapping of endpoints of types. For example, we can have a map of the endpoints. For example, we have an interface of user, which takes ID, name, and email. We have an interface of post, which takes ID, title, and content, and then we have a type resource map that takes slash users directed to user, and then slash post directed to post, right? And then we can make a function generic by tying the endpoint to its expected type using a generic constraint. So we have a function fetch resource, and then we can tie it to a promise through this resource map and return the fetch endpoint, and then dot then response, and then reply with whatever we want. So in this version, the generic k is constrained to the keys of the resource map. As a result, we can have the fetch resource slash users and fetch resource slash posts to return the type in automatically users and posts respectively. So by doing this, we can ensure that the API client is always aware of the fact that what type of data is being expected at each endpoint, right? And the TypeScript ensures that we don't actually misuse or misinterprets the results. So it becomes more flexible and type safe. Refactor the following TypeScript functions using recursive conditional types to deeply map an object's properties to be optional while preserving their original type. So we have a type convert to optional, arrow bracket T, and then we have square bracket K in key of T, question mark colon T, bracket like square bracket K, and then we have this closed, the type is closed. Then we have another function, make properties optional, which takes in has a bracket object colon any, and then we have curly braces returns curly braces dot 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 object, right? Refactor the following TypeScript function to utilize advanced techniques such as utility types and conditional types to transform and validate the properties of the input object depending on its type constraints. So we have a function modify object with arrow bracket t, which has object t and then updates partial, then arrow bracket t. So and then we have colon and then t and then bracket starts for const key in updates. If updates bracket key not equal to undefined, then object key equal to updates bracket key, and then we have two closed curly, and then we have return object and then closed curly. Which technique does TypeScript provide to ensure a function can accept arguments of any type yet return a specific type without explicit type assertions, right? So the options are first option, conditional types with default returns. Second option, generic with return type constraints. Third option, intersection types with type narrowing. And then fourth one, type assertions with fallback values. Okay, so we have the test completed. Let's see, let's add a referral. Want to refer? Yes. Let's add someone. This, we don't want this anymore. In case someone needs this. Okay. This. What is security onboarding? Yep. So, mhm. Oh fuck, it's already 4 p.m. Ah shit. I don't think so. I can sleep now. Oh, what can I do now? Let's just close my laptop. Yeah. Alright, guys, that was the stream. I hope you liked it because I was just giving an exam, so please don't mind. Yeah, so that was a TypeScript screening that I was going through, right? So yeah, we'll enjoy later tonight. Or yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Let's close. Let's close this back. 'Cause it's a lot of stuff. Alright, guys. That was it for the stream. It was a good production session. So I've been working today a lot, I would say. Uh, the last time I slept was yesterday from like 4 to 5 p.m. Like 4 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So not 9, even 8. So maybe like after lunch. So 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that's what, sorry, 8 p.m. Yeah, uh, so it's been 12 and then 18, 18, 19 hours. Yeah, 19 hours, and I am still up. I'm not sleeping right now. Will sleep later tonight, like later. So yeah, that's there. Let's get this shit done. Let's get some more earning. Yeah. Alright, guys. Bye bye. Music. Note. Bye, guys.